there, welcome to Colors. I'm Erica. On today's weekend whip, I'm going to be working on a page in Beauties in Fairyland from Coco Wyo. This is a book that is new to me, but I had pre-prepared a page with some Satin Glazing Liquid, and I just wanted to play with some of my water mediums on this paper and see how it does. So instead of tea today, I have a lovely, it's a Crystal Light citrus caffeine drink mix thing, and it's really good. It's what I drink when it's too hot for tea, and today is too hot for tea. So this is the page, and I have gone ahead and taped it down to a board here, so hopefully that will reduce some of the curling up as well. I know that I'm covering up part of the image down here, but I think that I might I'll either leave that or I'll do that right at the end. I'm not sure. And I don't think I'm going to go to the edge with the water medium, so I'm just going to do like a soft background. And that's actually where I'm going to start. So let me I'm going to grab some brushes. I have a couple of lovely brushes that I own. I have this Silver Black Velvet number 6, and then this one I think is a number, I don't remember. It's smaller. I know that much, but I can't remember what size exactly. I love these black velvet brushes. I have a number 2 here as well. And then I have a teeny tiny brush here, so if I need to get into any fine detail, I can do that. I have some clean water and a jar for dirty water as well, and we're just gonna get started. I'm just gonna go for it. So I need to decide on a background color. I'm gonna be using my Neo colors because I'm comfortable with them, I'm familiar with them. So if we have all of this beautiful floral butterfly stuff and some greenery, let's shoot for some purples in the background, maybe, or blue. Let's do blues. Okay, I'm gonna grab my blues. So I have a light blue, I have the ultramarine, I have my turquoise and cobalt. I think I'm gonna go with those 4 and see what I can do with that. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and start with this light blue. I am going to color on my page first, just right around the edges. So while I'm doing this, good morning. Hi, how are you? Hope you are all doing well. I have a few minutes today to do a little bit of this weekend whip, but then we are off to family reunion today, so wish us luck. It's going to be 90 degrees. It's going to be, I'm hoping it's not humid. I can deal with the 90 degrees as long as there's like shade and stuff, but I cannot deal with the humidity. That's just the killer for me. So hopefully we have decent weather. Then this morning I had to get up and go to the grocery store because I didn't have my side prepared, for shame. So I had to go do that. Oh, that's pretty already. Hopefully this works. This is the first time that I'm using the Satin Glazing Liquid, so I'm really curious to see how it does on this paper. I probably could have done you know, a good, ooh, that's pretty. I probably could have done, what am I trying to say? I don't know what I'm trying to say. Never mind, ignore me. It is curling up just a slightly on the edges there. I'm trying to keep my blue out of my wings. There we go. I usually just use a water brush when I use these, so this is a little bit of a different, thing for me today. I just felt like playing today. Like I knew that I wasn't going to be able to finish a page. I have a few whips, but none of them really appealed to me. And I was just like, what am I going to do? And I was like, I saw this book. I said, let's play. I had gone through and, like I said, pre-prepared some of the several pages. I did some in this book. I did one in this book just to see how the paper does. And then I also did one in several of my Yana Prosperina books. And am I on camera? Sorry if I wasn't. And then I also did one in one of my R.J. Hampson books, because I have one page in there that I really want to do a cool painterly effect on, and I'm hoping that this works. Okay, so yeah, I was bad and I didn't have my side pre-prepared for today, so I'm making a lovely fruit salad, and had to go run to the store and grab all that stuff this morning. I didn't want to make anything like too heavy because like I said, it's going to be 90 flipping degrees today, and it's not like we're going to a place where there's like a pool or a beach or anything. We're going to a state park, which is nice, so there'll be shade, but like it's just gonna be hot. It's gonna be so hot. And my husband's grandmother is gonna be there, and she's 97 years old, and I'm just like, I don't know what you guys are thinking putting her into this heat, but okay, she really wants to be there, and I get that, but holy moly, like I don't want her to have, you know, a heat stroke or anything. Okay, so I did end up getting the Crayon Dash palette, and while that part is drying, I think I'm gonna, oh, that's close to dry already on that side. I think I'm gonna do a little bit of a base coat on her skin and see how that goes. So let me grab, which one do I want to use? Yeah, I think I'm going to do this one and mix it with a little bit of peach. So this is the nice thing about the palette now, is that I don't have to mix it on the page. I can mix it ahead of time and not worry about like specific colors showing through and others not. So this has one rough side and one smooth side. So I can use this side for like my water-based markers and like acrylic paints and gouache and things like that, or watercolor paints. And on this side, I can use it for the rougher like mediums, like these Neo colors. I could use it for gelatos. I could use it for watercolor pencils. So I'm very excited and intrigued to start playing with these. And we'll see how it goes. All right, let's see what happens when I mix those two together. Very curious. So we're going to get some water in here and some water in here. And see what that does. Just kind of mix those together. Well, it looks like it's going to be a good color. All right, let's attempt to paint. Oh, I don't hate that. I was going to try more wet on wet technique, but I feel like maybe the skin shouldn't have that technique, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I know Christine Karen does that a lot. She does the wet skin technique. Like she'll wet her paper, but of course she's using nice high quality watercolor paper, and I'm using this Amazon paper, which is not quite the same. But she'll wet like all of her. I mean, that's a very peachy color. Hopefully I think it'll dry a little bit lighter. But yeah, I love the way that she does her her skin. If you've ever watched, like I know she has a few where she goes like slower, and I have yet to watch those, but I've seen several of her speed colors, and it's just like, it's like magic is happening on the page as you watch her add all these colors in. She's like, how did you do that? What sorcery just happened? What did I just witness? All right. So this is not terrible. That's good. And I can add more water if I want to water it down a little bit too, which I think I might need to do right now actually. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of water. So as your brush dries, not your drush dries. Oh my goodness, I do that so often. As your brush dries, you know, there's less water in there, so it's not quite the same color, because the more water you add, the more translucent and lighter it appears. So let's see how we do with this. This isn't going too bad so far. I'm liking the fact that I am not seeing too much buckling first, which is always good. I'm also liking the fact that I'm just going to cover this whole thing. Give me a little bit more water. I'll probably come back in and add shadows and things. I wonder if I can do this whole thing with just watercolor stuff. We'll see. I'm not sure how that'll go. I would like to try that, but I don't know if that'll work for me. Well, now that I'm going to try this. So I'm going to add some of this pink, clean off my brush really quick. Add some of this pink into the cheek that's wet right now and kind of see what that does. Hopefully I'm not completely destroying my paper, because that's what I was a little worried about, is how much time I need to let that dry in between. All right, and then I'll clean up any harsh lines with a little bit of water, see how that goes. That worked okay. And remember, these always look like a hot mess before they're done. Just keep that in mind. There's a rough looking period. Okay, well, we'll see. Okay, let me get her ear done really quick while I have these colors still here. Oh man. So, I had a fun week. I was out in the world a little bit more this week, which was lovely. I got to go down to where my daughter lives, and we went and looked at a couple of apartments. She's still having a little bit of trouble finding an apartment that she can actually afford. And I am biting my tongue every 2 seconds, you know, making sure that I'm letting her make the decisions and that I'm not overstepping any boundaries, because it's hard, man. It's hard for me to not want to just jump in there and help her and, you know, offer every bit of help that I possibly can when she kind of needs to do this on her own. That's the part I hate the most, is I just want to do it. I just want to help her and I just want to do it for her. But if I do it for her, she's not going to learn how to take care of herself. So that was not enough color. I need more color. I might have had a little bit of caffeine already today. So if you're noticing, I don't know, a little bit more talkies, that would be why. I think I'm just a little hyper because I had to get up and immediately start working on something that I had procrastinated on, and that just always kind of jump starts my manic side, I guess. I don't know. All right, well, I feel like this is going to be really beautiful if I can do it all with watercolors. And then I'm going to have to be grumpy because every page will now have to be prepared with this flipping medium. Okay, so I don't love what's happening right there right now. It looks like the color pulled up the other color, so I don't know how layering's gonna go. Let's test that out up here because I think this should be kind of dry. So we'll add a little bit of shadow and see how that goes. But like I said, there's always that ugly stage when things just maybe aren't gonna look exactly how you would like them to look. All right, well, this is probably gonna be one of these episodes where you just sit and watch me play for forever and then nothing actually gets done. I don't like what I just did there, so I'm gonna take that out. Yoink. All right. Okay, so I think that this down here is also her chest, but then I think that's all dress on either side there. Yeah, so I don't like whatever happened there. And it's still very wet, so I can't go back and play with it. But I think this part is pretty dry, so let's mess with that. All right, I think what I'm gonna do is I am gonna do wet on wet. So let me get a little bit bigger brush so I can get things wetted down a little bit. And then we're gonna play with this blue color and this turquoisey color. And we'll see what happens there. All right, so I've got some water on my brush. I'm just gonna go through, that did not. Let's try that again. And I'm hoping that I don't reactivate this too much and then it picks up. Okay. Oop, you can tell that I didn't have any medium right there, I guess. All right, so we're going to grab some of this blue and just kind of drop it in and see what happens. So what else did I do? So I went and looked at apartments and we found one. Hopefully that will work for her. She's got to wait to hear back from the people. And it's getting close to when she's got to move out of her other place. So I'm really hoping that this one works out for her. And then we also went and had a nice lunch together. And she is excited because she talked about starting another D&D group with within our family. And it's going to be one that she runs. So she's super excited about that. So we talked a little bit about that. It was just nice because we, you know, when she's home, there's always something going on or, you know, other people around. And it was just nice just to have her to myself for a little while. So I just got to sit and talk with her. And I love her. So yes, but her mind, the way her mind works is so interesting and creative and just awesome to see. And I love the fact that she shares that with me. I have no idea what I'm doing, guys. This is super experiment day. All right, we're going to use this lighter blue too and see maybe what that does once you drop that in. Just pop it in. Oop, okay. And then another day, I got to go and spend time with my niece. I'm kind of a forgetful person, so a lot of the times, and it sounds really terrible, but a lot of the times I will say, you know, hey, we'll go out for your birthday and, you know, go shopping, or, you know, we'll go out to lunch or whatever. And I feel like I had, like, I don't know, a couple years of that for my poor niece. So I finally was able to take her out, and we went out and went shopping and talked kind of a little bit about what we want to do for her senior pictures, because she's going to be a senior this year. But yeah, I got her some clothes for her pictures, and just some nice clothes to wear in general. And that was fun. I feel so bad when I do that too. Like I needed to add some clear water in there. I was getting some harsh lines. I didn't really like the way that looked. Yeah, I feel really bad when I do that stuff, and I don't know why it happens. I don't know. I always feel like the bad aunt when I do that too, because I'm just like, yeah, we'll totally do that. And they're like, okay. And then they never hear from me, and I'm just like, ah. So I've started putting it on them. I'm sure that sounds just as bad, but I'm just like, just call me, just text me, and I will be there. Sometimes I forget, and it doesn't mean that I don't love you, and it doesn't mean that I don't want to go do the thing. I just am a bit forgetful. So she did text me, and that's the reason we ended up getting to go. And I was like, thank you for texting. She's like, okay, I guess. But I mean, I know that probably feels weird. Like they're like, I'm bugging her, and I'm just wanting to get, I don't want it to feel like I just want to get my stuff, but I really want to get my stuff that she said that she would give me. All right, friends, I don't think I like that at all, but we're going to let that dry. Okay, let's do some more of this color just on that side, and I'm just going to just straight in with the water and the color. That is not enough water. What you doing, water? Okay, let's see. I don't even know if you guys can. Oh, shoot. I just put my hand in it. Nice going. Maybe I should turn that. Let's turn that. That'd probably be a better idea. Here we go. Flipping it around. All right. So I'm just going to try to get some water randomly placed on this side without wetting it first, and see what the difference is. See if I can make it look the way that I want it to look. I love the wet on wet technique, but I feel like I don't have enough control. And I know that that's kind of the point of the wet on wet, is you just kind of let the water do its thing, the watercolor do its thing. But it really frustrates me when it doesn't do what I want it to. So I tend to do this technique way more. Plus, in most coloring books, you don't have paper that you can just saturate with water and do whatever your heart, whatever you feel like. But adding this glazing medium, so it was Satin Glazing Liquid, and I will show you the bottle here in just a second. Let me finish this little bit. Okay, let's see. I think I want a little bit more of this cobalt blue. Clean that brush. Sorry, I've got my palette way off to the side now. So I'm using this this cobalt blue now. I'm just gonna pop it in there in a couple of places. I think I like this one a little bit better so far already. And it's not even that much color. And we'll pick up a little bit of this color and drop that in randomly as well. See, now this, because it's wet, it still does its thing, but I just had more control over where things were going, I think. Yeah, so here is the bottle. So this is Golden Satin Glazing Liquid. It's actually an extender for acrylic mediums, but you can also use it to, it says useful for wet in wet blending. And I think it's definitely more for acrylic, but I think it was, pretty sure it was Coloring with Kay that I saw recommend this, and I was just like, well, I've got my gesso, I'll just go with my gesso because it's something I know. And then I was just like, well, let's give this a try and see what happens. All right, so we're gonna pop some color down in here. I don't think my brush was wet enough. I do like using that palette though. I think that's gonna become more prevalent in my coloring usage, especially when I want to get super painty, painterly. When I want to feel more like an artist instead of just, somebody who colors for fun. I will get this palette out just so I can play and mix colors and, have fun that way. I don't have too many watercolor palettes, so this is my watercolor. This is my watercolor palette. So I'm just coloring some more of that light blue and that cobalt blue, and I'm going to mix those a little bit together. See what that does. It gives me just a tad darker shade. Can you see that? Okay. Sorry, I'm not really paying attention to the camera hardly at all, so that I can get these colors dropped in. I just having fun playing. Creating new colors and watching them blend and move and... All right. Yeah, so the only thing that I'm noticing so far is I'm seeing a little bit of, and I'm pretty sure it's just from the paper itself. So I'm going to have to be really careful not to oversaturate things, I think. This is really, like I said, this is just a big old test page. So I can see what I'm actually capable of doing on this paper. But I'm seeing like some lines, some of the vertical lines, and I don't know if that's from when I brushed on the medium or if that is like the actual grain of the paper, because if you look at the back side of this paper, which you can't look at right now because I have it taped to a giant board, there were lines going up and down the page in the background. So I don't know about that. All right, so I put too much water there. I can already tell. So I think definitely what I'm going to have to do is be patient with this stuff on this paper and go in layers. Yeah, that's going to have to be what happens. Okay. All right, so here's what my palette looks like. And I think to clean it up, I'm just going to take a big old wet brush, get everything wet, and clean that brush off. And then just wipe it off with paper towel. Oh man, that's fun. Yeah, this was totally 100% just all about playing today. All right, let's try a little bit more. Oh, that feels wet still. Okay, so let's do hair. I want her to have, let's do, what kind of hair? Let's do blonde. I was gonna say, let's do green, but I was like, no. All right, so I'm using some of the, what is this color? Ochre, a little bit of the ochre, and a little bit of the, what is this one? Let's do golden. and see what that does. That'll be fun. All right, and I'm going to use this thicker brush just so I can get more color on the page, and hopefully that's not too much water. We'll see what happens. No, I don't want to use that one. Yes, I do. Boy, the manic is in full effect today, peeps. Sorry about this. I know sometimes you turn in for, you know, tune in for, you know, less just like relaxing chat, and this is, I don't know, a little scatterbrained, I guess, today. Again, I'm going to blame the caffeine. Oh yeah, this works. It's going a lot faster too, so that I don't have to keep going back and getting more color. And if I get a little bit of color over the edge, that's not the end of the world. I can always go back through and clean that off, just like that. All right, let's keep trying this. Let's do some more blonde. A little bit on the edge here. Oh, that's a wing. Darn it. Shoot. All right, Erica, pay attention. Yeah. That is a wing. Below that is definitely hair. It's getting lighter as I go because I keep adding more water. So let's add a little bit. Nope, that's not the right color. Let's add a little bit of this and a little bit of this. And we'll just keep adding that too. There we go. So what else happened this week? I released my channel news. Let's do channel news. I released my Jash Lee completed pages and whips. Now, this video and the next couple are a little different because I don't have as many finished pages in these books. So they're much shorter than some of the previous ones. And it's more of like a quick flip through the book. And then, you know, if we happen upon a finished page, that's a bonus. Because I have to add more color in here. I don't have a ton of finished pages in his books. So, yeah, so this one and the next couple that I'm going to do, which I've already filmed and they're edited and ready to go. They're just, you know, scheduled for later. I have one that is going to be from Jana Prosperina. I stumble on her name every single time I say it. You would think that I would have learned how to say it by now. But I've got one for her scheduled and edited, and then I have one for Heather Valentin, which was one that I hadn't, see, I want to keep going back and adding more color to that, and that is not hair. But yeah, I did one for Heather Valentin too, and because I have several of her books, and I think her artwork is really cute. I have to be in the mood for it though, because typically I have to do something creative to make the background all better. Okay. Oh, that's still wet. All right, what are we gonna do next? Background is still wet. I know that I could probably come in with a dryer, which I might do. Who knows? I really want to just try to add some more pink in there. So I'm going to add a little bit of that pink. I'm going to add a touch of this darker. So this is a carmine. And that'll just help to make that a little bit darker pink. All right, so let's mix that together and drop it in. And the scary thing, well, it's not super scary, but the thing that you have to remember about neocolors is they get pretty opaque. So you definitely have to make sure that you add enough water to yeah, what am I trying to say, peeps? I keep saying that too. That must be a manic thing as well. You have to add enough water so that it becomes more translucent instead of opaque, so that you can see your lines, so that things blend well. Right now I'm just adding a little bit of water with a tiny little bit of peach thrown in, just so I can get things blended better, so there's no harsh lines, because that's what I really am trying to avoid. I don't want any harsh lines. Get off of there. So all this area down here, I wonder if that's why it looked like it kind of picked up. The other thing that I could do is I can add in a little bit of this, and a little bit of this, and a little bit of this, and a touch of that. We're going to do all 4 of those colors and see what that does. Oh, that makes a good color. But I'm going to add a little bit of that too, just right at the base of her nose. This is one of the reasons why I love this brush, because it's got such a fine point on it that you can really get in there and get details that you want done. I'm going to get a little bit in there. See if I can create, yeah. But yeah, it's got a super fine point on the end of it, so you can really get in there and add details. Like I said, I don't remember which number this one is. I think it's a 4. It's either a 3 or a 4. And if you're interested, let me know in the comments and I can get you guys the link for the brushes. All right, let's see. What else can I do here? Things are still a little wet, so we're going to add in a little bit of this. What color is this? Russet. A little bit of russet, a little bit of peach, a little bit of pink as well. We're going to get that all mixed together. It was a little more russet than I wanted, so let's mix it in with this pink. Okay, let's see if that... I'm just trying to get some of the inside parts of her ear. These pages do have a tiny bit of grayscale on them, so I'm just trying to get like anywhere where there might be a little bit of gray too. I don't want that to be showing through on my page. Okay, take this little darker color and go down here, right along the edge there. All right, let's see what happens if I just add in a nose. Oh Lord, that's not happening. We're getting rid of that immediately. That was crazy looking. I might just have to go in with my pencils and add the detail. I really want to try to do it with my neocolors though. Add a little bit more watercolor in there. I know this looks crazy, but it will be fixed. It will be fixed. Okay, let's do some of these leaves up here. That's not terribly hard. And let's see what happens if I color straight onto the page. So I have, what do I have here? Yellow green and grass green. So I'm going to do the yellow green in random places. Kind of places where I think maybe a highlight would be. Did you see any of that? Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry if that was off camera. That's going to make me so grumpy. All right, let's try this. Holy moly. All right, clean off the brush. Grab some water. And let's just start blending. So we're going to start where the lighter color is and work into the darker color. It's still going to be a pretty soft green, but yeah, this is the same concept as if I was doing it with my water brush. I'm just going to clean that off a little bit more regularly. And again, as I do this, I'm not waiting for things to dry in between, so things probably will bleed together and blend, and that's totally fine. Totally fine with me. Especially when it's leaves like this, where they're all kind of crunched together anyway. But like if her hair was still super wet, I would try to avoid getting water in there. Yeah, I would love to take some, to get on like Skillshare or something and take some of those watercolor classes or acrylic painting classes. Those two just seem really, or gouache. The painting classes in general just seem really interesting to me. Like I would love to learn how to approach paintings and, you know, how it differs from what I would do with my pencils. Yeah, and you can just see it blend. I'm hoping you guys can see it at least. I know that you're on camera at least this time. I forgot to do anything about this. I'll have to make a post about it too. Tomorrow, I am doing a live buddy color with Corey from Colorfully Optimistic. We have not done one of these in a little while. And I haven't done a live in a long time, so I'm a little nervous. And I hope that our buddy color goes okay. I hope that we, I don't know. I'm sure it'll be fine. I love hanging out with Corey. I love talking to Corey, so it's gonna be good. I just have to make sure that my camera setup still works. Like for my lives, I was having to record differently than I do for my regular videos, because normally I just record on my phone and edit on my phone and do everything on my phone. But with the live, you have to go through a website, especially when you're doing like the buddy coloring live. You have to go through a website and you have to, I don't know, do all these different things. So it was easier to do more green. So I'm just going to pull it right off the tip of this. Did that work? I think so. Yeah. Anyway, so it's just, it's more steps and steps that I'm not necessarily super comfortable with. So I just have to make sure that I can still get in there and get the stuff done that I need to. All right, well, there is that. How's her face looking? Yeah, like I said, I think I'm probably gonna have to do, I wonder what would happen if I try to pick this color up now. probably going to have to do a lot of the shading with pencil work. But that's not terrible. As I do like to do, I mean, I'm fine with that. And we'll see how pencils then work on this stuff too. One of the biggest reasons that I didn't like my gesso was I wasn't able to use any I wasn't able to use my pencils because it was such a rough texture that it would not, the pencils wouldn't adhere to wouldn't stick to the paper. Like they would, like you would get some pencil on there and then it would immediately brush off. And I was just like, what is going on? So hopefully I can get that a little bit better with these, or use like my watercolor pencils to get the color exactly where I want it, and then go in with a water brush or something and shade that way. I'm trying to get a nice edge to the face here. Which that doesn't look terrible, but it's not still my favorite. That's what I need to learn too, is when have I overworked things? Like, when do I just need to just let it be? And when do I need to overwork things? Or when have I overworked things? Okay, so I wanted to show you a little bit closer. Where are you going, brush? On this part right here, you can kind of see the lines going down, and I think that that is my brush strokes from the from applying the medium. Boy, you guys are getting all the fun stuff. You're getting the giant gaps in my speaking. You're getting crazy words that I never say. And, you know, just all of it. And the manic funness. Ugh. Oh man. I'll be calmer later today, I'm sure, but that doesn't really help you guys at all. All right, I want to try to add in just a little bit more. I know that I have already done this area, but I just want to see what happens. I feel like it needs to be darker in some areas and maybe not as dark in others, but let me use this guy. He's clean, right? Yep. Okay, I'm using the big dude. Maybe that would be better to drop the color in because it just has a softer edge and it's not so pointy. That might work better. Let me just do a little bit over here. Get some more water. More color. Yeah, when I want softer looks with my water brushes, I do tend to go for those bigger bristles, so, or the bigger, thicker tips. All right, well, there we go. That was almost an hour of me just playing, and that's all I've gotten so far. So we'll see how this goes. Maybe I'll play with this some more on camera. Who knows? But yeah, so that is it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed watching that. I hope I wasn't too crazy. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you all so much for your support and your love. It really just means so much to me. And yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.